This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. Dallas police officer Amber Guyger is found guilty of murder, and people are still missing after a bridge in Taiwan collapses. Also, Grammy Award-winning soprano Jessie Norman dies at age 74.
Hello and welcome to Matador News. I'm Damian Gordon.
And I'm Brittany Smith.
Amber Guyger, a former Dallas police officer who shot and killed her neighbor, was found guilty of murder this morning. Guyger was returning home from almost a 14-hour shift in 2018. She parked on her apartment complex's 4th floor instead of her normal spot on the 3rd floor, where her apartment was located, still dressed in her police uniform. Persecutors say Guyger missed all the signs that it wasn't her apartment because she was sending explicit messages to her police partner. Guyger entered her neighbor's home, mistaking it for her own, saw the door was unlocked and assumed a burglar had entered her home, but it was actually someone else's apartment. She mistook Botham Jeon, a black accountant and her neighbor, for a burglar, drew her weapon and opened fire, killing Jeon. Guyger now faces a sentencing of 5 to 99 years.
Investigators in Congress's impeachment inquiry have subpoenaed President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. Foreign Affairs, Oversight, and Intelligence Committees in the House are leading the investigation into whether the president asked a foreign country for dirt on a political opponent. The chairs of the 3 committees are requesting that Giuliani gives the House documents, records related to his efforts in Ukraine. Giuliani is debating whether or not to comply.
Well, I don't know. I'm weighing the alternatives. I'll kind of like go through it. I'll get all my evidence together. I'll get my charts.
Giuliani took to Twitter to comment on the subpoena he received, pointing out that it was only signed by Democratic chairmen who have prejudged this case. Giuliani says he will give the request some consideration. The president has yet to release a formal statement.
Hong Kong police fired tear gas and, for the first time, bullets at protesters overshadowing China's 70th anniversary festivities. One protester was wounded at close range. Tens and thousands of protesters are calling for the Communist Party to return power to the people. Umbrellas were used to block water cannons being shot into the crowds. Hong Kong police chief Stephen Low says the protests are getting out of hand.
Suggesting that some hardcore violence protesters are inciting others, including those with suicide tendency, to commit extreme acts like as murdering the police, disguising as police officer to kill others, and setting fires in petrol stations, etc. With the increase in the intensity and extensity of violence over the past 3 months, there are apparent signs that hardcore violence will escalate in the near future. All acts are one step closer to terrorism.
Today marks day 115th of the protests.
A massive 460-foot harbor bridge in Taiwan has collapsed today. The destruction occurred around 9:30 this morning in Nanfango, Taiwan. An oil tanker truck on the bridge fell on the 3 boats in the water. 5 pedestrians were believed to be on the bridge when it collapsed. Fire agencies say 6 victims were also trapped in one of the boats the truck fell on. 10 people were sent to the hospital, 6 with serious injuries. Air Force helicopters, military personnel, and fishing crews are searching for more possible victims. The harbor was closed yesterday due to high winds and heavy rain from Typhoon Mitag. The bridge was a popular tourist attraction in northeastern Taiwan.
It's been exactly 2 years since 58 country music fans were killed at a festival in Las Vegas. Nevada officials have announced a permanent memorial to the victims of the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. A committee has been proposed to work with the families of victims, survivors, members of the community. The Clark County Commission will vote on the creation of the committee and its proposed members this week. Officials say the Route 91 Harvest Festival Memorial is meant to mourn those lost while honoring the resiliency of Las Vegans.
Former President Jimmy Carter turns 95 today. He is the oldest living president, a title formerly held by late President George H.W. Bush, who died last year at age 94. People around the world are leaving President Carter birthday messages through the Carter Center website. America's oldest president is a Nobel Peace Prize winner and holds 3 Grammys for Best Spoken Word Album. The Jimmy Carter Presidential Library and Museum in Atlanta is also celebrating the day. Admission today is 95 cents, and they're holding extended hours. They will also be showing a free screening of a Georgia favorite, Smokey and the Bandit.
A new cafe experience is now open in Hollywood. Let's go to Matador news reporter Omar James in the newsroom.
Appreciate it, Damian. Today is the grand opening of the nation's first legal cannabis lounge and restaurant. Loud Farms Cafe in West Hollywood is an experience like no other. The restaurant will feature pre-rolls, dabs, and a variety of other cannabis products sold for customers to enjoy while eating their food. We talked to students on campus just to hear their thoughts on the new cafe.
I feel like people would actually want to go there and watch all the sports, but I feel like it's not going to be as hype because, it's, weed and stuff like that. But I don't know. Yeah. Well, it seems fun, but we'll see.
I feel like it's going to bring ideas to other businesses too, just because in our state, marijuana is legalized, and for them to have a place to get high in an environment where everyone is on the same page, I think it's really cool.
I'm kind of like mixed feelings. Like, it's kind of cool because apparently weed helps anxiety, but at the same time, for my beliefs and my religion, I wouldn't be okay with it. I feel like a lot won't open. I feel like it would just be here and then. I feel like it also depends on location. So you said it's Hollywood, correct?
West Hollywood.
West Hollywood. So let's say obviously West Hollywood, yeah, but would you see that in Beverly Hills? I feel like I wouldn't.
Yeah, most likely there will. There will be more. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they open one in the Valley.
Really?
Yeah, especially in Conogo Park, that's where all the dispensaries are. Yeah, because it's...
Loud Farms Cafe is located on the corner of La Brea and Santa Monica Boulevard in West Hollywood. You must be 21 years of age to enter. However, the cafe is open from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. for all your food and cannabis needs. Now let's toss it back to the studio with Kaelyn Ryan on Health News.
Thanks, Omar. Vaping has now killed 14 people nationwide, the latest victim in Nebraska. One clue about this outbreak of lung injury might be the use of THC on e-cigarettes. The THC is a substance in cannabis which is stronger than nicotine products. CDC Principal Deputy Director Dr. Ann Schuckett says there may be another dangerous substance present. More and more young people are using vaping products, doubling the number from 2017 until now. In the coming weeks, the new FDA policy is expected to ban non-flavored tobacco vaping products. Stores would only need authorization to sell them. CVS, Walgreens, and Rite Aid have pulled Zantac off their shelves after a cancer-causing chemical called NDMA was found. Although there is an active investigation by the FDA and Sanofi, Zantac is still being sold in the U.S. No companies have reported any people who have been harmed by using these heartburn medicines. 2 generic products, Apex and Sandoz, which also contain this carcinogen, have been recalled by their manufacturer. Now let's toss to Araceli for business news.
Thank you, Kaelyn. Cold Energy Drinks is coming to the U.S. mid-January. Coca-Cola has made an energy drink with a Coke flavor. The product is designed to help introduce energy drinks to people who may have not tried them before. While its classic taste and zero sugar Coke flavors are already available overseas, Coke Cherry and Zero Sugar Cherry will also be available when released. Gas prices in California are well over $4 following the attack on Saudi Arabia's oil plant and refinery issues here. According to AAA, California prices are up 28 cents a gallon. The average price for gas is now at $4.15, and it's expected to rise within the next week. Gas prices are the highest they have been since July 2015. Fast fashion favorite. Forever 21 has filed for bankruptcy. The chain is planning to close between 300 to 350 stores and nearly 178 in the U.S. Executive Vice President Linda Chang says filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy is a necessary step in securing a future for the franchise. The company has about 28,000 employees. The holiday season, Forever 21 is expected to hire 4,000 more employees and 700 temporary staffers. Let's go to Matador News reporter Amari Martin in the newsrooms for more on the Fair Play to Pay Act.
Thanks, Araceli. Governor Newsom, who signed the new bill yesterday, the Fair Pay to Play Act, says athletes are abused. Newsom says the reason he's governor of California is because he received a scholarship to play baseball. He says it allowed him a higher education, even though he is dyslexic. He also says college students reap billions from student athletes, but block them from earning a single dollar, and that's a bankrupt model. Many athletes are in favor of the bill, but the NCAA says the law will hurt college sports. We asked CSUN students their thoughts.
You know, athletes, they work, they compete, but they don't get anything back from it. I think it's a good thing that they can get endorsements and stuff like that, where they can get money for their effort and for finally being recognized.
I think it's good just for them personally, because I know a lot of the times with college expenses plus being a student athlete, they don't have the time outside of practice to maybe work a part-time job or also get additional funds. So I think it's good for them because everybody needs at least a little money in their pocket.
I think it's a really good idea from athletes because we are always working hard, practicing so many hours. So I think we deserve like some money. Like if we are good, like you can use that money for try to be professional.
The bill will take effect in 2023. Let's go back to the studio with Kaelyn Ryan for more on sports.
Thanks, Amari. Oakland Raiders linebacker Vontaze Burfict has been suspended for the rest of the season by the NFL. Burfict had a helmet-to-helmet hit on Colts tight end Jack Doyle last Sunday.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on a defense number 55. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. First down.
What's dangerous? You know, you can't lead with the helmet. He knows it.
His season-ending suspension is a result of his repeated violations of unnecessary roughness rules. Burfict had traveled with the team to London to play the Chicago Bears next Sunday. His agent says he will travel back to the state and appeal the suspension. The National League wildcard game is set for tonight as the Washington Nationals host the Milwaukee Brewers. Winner advances to go against the Los Angeles Dodgers on Thursday in the NLDS. The game will be on TBS at 5 o'clock. Now let's toss for more stories on entertainment to Araceli.
Thank you, Kaelyn. International opera star Jessie Norman dies at 74. Norman is said to be one of the greatest sopranos of all times. She won 4 Grammy Awards in her career. Norman's talent lived on the stage as well. The Jessie Norman School of Art students and staff say they are tremendously saddened by her death. Her legacy and voice will live on forever. Clueless star Stacey Dash has been arrested in Florida for domestic battery against her 4th husband, Jeffrey Marty. During an interview, Dash allegedly pushed, slapped, and scratched her husband. Although Dash was arrested and detained, there were no charges pressed against her. On September 30th, Stacey was released from the Land O'Lakes detention facility after her husband showed up in court seeking no further legal action. Let's go back to Damian for more news.
Model Gigi Hadid saves the Chanel fashion show in Paris after French comedian Marie Benolil climbed onto the runway. Hadid stepped up to the comedian and ushered her off the runway. Her first time crashing a runway was at the Cannes Film Festival in 2017. The comedian's YouTube channel has a following of over 200,000. She shows herself doing impersonations and pulling various public stunts. It's safe to say this social test won't be her last.
All right, and for some weather, it's 73 degrees in Northridge with 30% humidity. Temperatures are expected to be in the 50s later tonight, but warmer weather will be back for the weekend with temperatures in the low 90s. Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Brittany Smith.
I'm Damian Gordon.
I'm Kaelyn Ryan.
And I'm Araceli Barriga.